Hey, thanks, Anup. Thanks. Hi, guys. Okay, this is as Anup said. Um, I'm not expert in software update points in SCCM, but I always welcome your question and answers. If I'm not well in that particular topic, it's free feel to help me to get the answer for that. Uh, yes, again, it's all our topic, and we would like to know that. See, everyone has their own idea how to improve the patching concepts, right? I would like to welcome all the patching concept. Is there any improvements you're looking for in SSCM side? Yes, please let us know, or you can also update in user voice. So definitely, Microsoft will consider the next release. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kannan.
Okay. About the topics, see, I'm not going to present in my own words. I'm going to present in my own words to say what is software update point and how it's been configured and what are the looking for the improvement from the software update point, especially for the COVID-19 situations, right? So everyone is working remotely. How we can achieve our patching compliance or how ensure that machines are up to date, right? That
Mm.
we will discuss at the end point. Okay, now coming to the software update point, right? Okay, these are the topics I'm going to configure it. Okay, about the software update point, getting started, architect, how to do, top, top task and concepts. Any questions, or you want to have anything in your mind to add it part of it?
No.
Would you have cloud gateway management?
Sorry, yep, cloud management gateway. I'm going to give an overview how it will be.
Excellent.
Yeah. Can I just if do you will talk with about VPN managed software update with VPN client?
Yep, I will.
Okay. Okay.
I will.
Thanks.
But
Go
we will
ahead.
discuss. We will discuss the end of the sessions, like yes, how we are approaching and what is the customers also approaching. I will give the guidance to you. Yes, we will discuss in the later. So it's kind of healthy session, like
The
what we
phone.
can best we can achieve it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, coming to the software updating configurations, right? Okay, hope everyone will work on SMS. Few persons are working on SMS, right? So post SMS, the SCCM it comes on SCCM 2007 introduction 2007 8. Okay, so pretty much that most of the machines before that they are using the WSCS to patching the machines or SMS 2.0 or okay or 3.0 they're using a different tool. From SCCM 2007 onwards they integrated it with WSCS. Okay, so when we want to patch, that means you have to select the products, which are the products you want to select it, and which are the categories you want to select it, classifications. You patch our own devices, right? We can patch Windows 10, different operating system, Windows drivers, okay, and Office patch, Office, not Office 365, Office up to 2016, you're able to patch it. Office 365 is part of it. Okay, it's a new features was very quickly working. Most of the companies are using software updates in their organization using SSCM. Okay, any questions on this slide? Okay, I'm moving to the next slide. Okay, this is pretty interesting. Okay, the patch icons. Okay, trust me. Okay, whenever I'm taking an interview for my team, okay, I'm asking, okay, have you noticed what are the patch icons are present in the console? Okay, most of the people are known only green color. What about other colors, right? Green is a, okay, you can see the patch icons visible on the console, right? These are the patch icons, right? Okay, the green is active one. Okay, the second one, expired icon, is a gray with X mark. Okay, the superseded icon, it's yellow, and the invalid icon is red with X mark, and the metadata is on a blue. Okay, so green is ready to download and deploy the means you can deploy the updates to the environment. X,
And then sorry to disturb in between. If you can go to full page mode, that would be full screen mode. That would be great.
sure, I will.
Slideshow.
Yeah, is it clear?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. So Okay, the green. Okay, the green is the active icon. So you can you can directly deploy the updates, and you can download and deploy the updates as well. Wherein the expired icons, yes, the patch icon got expired. You can no more do deploy to that download. Superseded icon also. The invalid icon, right? Why we are getting the invalid icon? So right, some of the times Microsoft made that update as invalid. Okay, they release the updates. Sometimes what happens is the updates released to the environment, suddenly that update causing the issues, they made it immediately invalid, or sometimes it make it as a superseded if they know updates are available. Okay, the metadata icon will be available if you, for example, if you are integrated with third-party updates, or with um, means like example, you are enabled the third-party patch deployment, you will get a metadata. Initially it's used for the reporting purpose, wherein mainly used for the reporting purpose. Any questions on this slide?
Hi, this is Ram. I just have one question.
Mm-hmm.
So on the last icon about metadata only icon. So normally when we say metadata, it is what comes from WSS to SCCM with respect to Microsoft updates. But still we see all green, though we don't download the content. So when exactly we see this blue icon of metadata?
Okay, that's okay. Have you integrated any third-party updates on your environment?
Currently, no.
Okay, if you enable the third-party updates, okay, then you will get these options. Okay, see, for example, you are importing the Lenovo drivers or
Third party
HP
means patch my PC or manage engine, right?
No. We have a third-party updates available on SCCM. Like if you want to deploy Google Chrome, or you deploy the drivers like Lenovo hardware drivers, right? You have to import the catalog into the SCCM, right? Then you will get the icons in a green color.
So that blue icon will come only for the non-Microsoft product updates.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
Okay. And the second thing about invalid icon. So if Microsoft decides there is a faulty update, so normally they will expire that update, right? So when do they make it invalid, and when do they make it expire?
It's depends on the Microsoft decisions. Okay, sometimes, right, sometimes they made it expire. Sometimes if they patches are okay, for example, the patch got released, and within 2 days or 3 days they notified that the patch causing the issues, already they're working on the new patch. Okay, they will release a new patch by superseding it, and sometimes they get made it as a invalid. It depends on the Microsoft decision.
Yeah, hi Kannan,
Yeah,
this is Srinivas. I think those like 0-day patches. Yeah, right?
Sorry?
Hi Kannan. I think those patches is called a 0-day patch, right?
Which one you are referring? 0-day patch?
Yeah, right. What you are discussing right earlier, like 2 days, 3 days, right? They release one more patches. Those patches called a 0-day patch, right?
No, that's called as a 0-day patch or out of band. Okay, sometimes the regular updates also causing a lot of issues. Okay, for example, if you take March month, okay, the regular patch got released. The next day, the 0-day patch got released. If you specifically notify it on March 15th or something, the 0-day patch released. Okay, within 24th, they released in the same patch for 1903 and 1909 for the cumulative updates, right? So it's nowadays that patching is going well, but sometimes due to the environment issues, we are seeing more bugs on the Windows 10 patches.
Those patches like called preview technology, something like, right? Those
No,
patches
it's a
called, right?
regular it's called regular cumulative updates.
Okay. Thanks, Kannan. Yeah.
No worries.
Go ahead.
So it depends on the Microsoft decisions, right? So yes, even though they are releasing the operating system are very stable, but sometimes, right, it causing the issues due to the security issues. So releasing a more updates in coming months. Any questions on this slide, guys?
Ram, I have a question. Myself, Sampath. So earlier you said there is this blue color metadata icon will show only for third-party updates. So what you said is right, but for like I said, third-party updates like Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, whatever we integrate, I don't think we can integrate them individually, because our Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or any third-party applications that we want to integrate, they won't give this metadata URLs directly, if I'm not wrong.
No,
I think we need to use
actually,
a
that's
tool
correct.
called My PC or kind of thing, and
Yeah,
so we need to
that's correct.
integrate that.
Yeah, that's correct,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Sampath.
is
See,
correct.
as of now, that's correct. Okay. See, there as of now, there is no catalog available for the Google Chrome, imagine Firefox, but there are catalog available for hardware drivers. Like you can say it
Yeah.
about Adobe, you do have it, HP you have it, Lenovo you have it, and Dell you have it. As of now, Google Chrome, Firefox, we don't have it. Wherein if you integrate like Patch My PC or Evanti tool, or you can able to get it.
Yeah, and one more question. So we actually download the metadata. So I have this question, and I've been asked this question in so many interviews also. So just to know, I'm asking it. So when the metadata is downloaded from Microsoft website, where exactly this data will be downloaded? I want to know the location of it. If anybody knows.
Location of an X means what?
No, so location of the metadata which it is downloaded from Microsoft.
You
So I
want to
want
the
to know.
content means exe where to be exe or car file where it's get downloaded. That's what you are
Right.
asking.
Right.
Okay.
Is it in WCS folder that is getting
Okay.
downloaded?
No. See, metadata, the content only downloaded is updated in the cap file, wherein if you exe, every exe, see, for example, if you are downloading Microsoft, it's go with the dl.download.microsoft.com. If it's Google means totally different. It's HP means totally different. Lenovo it's totally different.
No, I'm
Okay.
asking about only the Microsoft update. If if the software update point or WCS is downloading the metadata, I want to know
Okay.
where exactly this
See,
metadata will be stored
it's been
inside.
downloaded and it's see you want see it won't download the exes. Okay, it would download only the cap files. Okay, which is
Exactly.
used for the scanning.
You know,
Can I answer that
Kannan,
question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I answer that question? Hi, this is Shrikant. Can I answer that question? The metadata will be downloaded in the SMS underscore INE. Some folder will be created. In that folder, you can see for each Lenovo, there will be a alphanumeric long name will be there. In that place, the metadata will be downloaded. Once you started downloading the actual content, then that time you are going to be downloaded in a different folders. Based on your design, you are going to
different
download
folder.
actual content later. But metadata will be downloaded under SMS underscore INV some folder.
So
No,
it is in
but
the
that
install folder, or is it in the WCS content folder? Microsoft.
No, not in the
Yeah,
WCS
where,
content folder. It will be a separate folder where you enable that particular update. You enable some different server. If you enable on the different server where you are enabling the SSL binding and everything, if you enable on a different server, there will be a separate folder will be created. SMS underscore INV some naming will be there. I didn't remember that name, but there will be a separate folder will be created under that based on the model, like Lenovo separate catalog, Dell separate catalog, Adobe separate catalog, like that. Each and every vendor they will create a separate metadata will be downloaded in that place.
yeah, but it will create entries in WSUS database and SSM database anyway. If you are
Yeah.
looking for where the entries, uh, it will be in both database.
Yeah, database it is both the places, but actual content metadata will be in a different folder. SMS underscore some log will be there, right? That's with the same name. The folder will be created in the.
Okay. But in my case, I have WCS SCP primary site and everything in one server itself. So I never seen where exactly this metadata will be stored. So that's the reason I got this doubt. So where exactly this metadata is getting downloaded is my first question. Yeah.
Sambat, probably next time you can try out this and share this information with us as a presentation. That would be great for us.
Sure, sure. I
Yeah.
will have a I'll have a search
Thank
on
you,
this.
Sambat.
Thank
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sambat.
sir.
thank
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Kannan. This is Gopal here. Can you
Tell
hear
me,
me?
Gopal. Yeah, tell me, Gopal.
Yeah. So I have one question regarding this side only. As you said that suppose Microsoft releases any critical patch, and because of the issue, the Microsoft invalidate it after 1 or 2 days. So in that case, how the SSL server will come to know that this like we will get the information from Microsoft that this KB has a problem and it got invalid or something like that. Then in that case, how the SSM server will sync that information, in the infra, or how the clients will come to know that this patch has got the problem and it's now invalid or expired.
Okay, so what happened is, see, once the Microsoft release an update that got superseded by updating by a new update, okay, your environment have a sync enabled with the Microsoft updates, right? So for example, some companies will enable every 7 days once, or if companies are enabled for Windows Defender or endpoint protection, they will do it every 7 hours once, 8 hours once, right? Once a sync get enabled, okay, that existing updates may be superseded and new update to be updated. In that case, okay, what will happen is, even though you deployed that old update to the computers, right, it's went to the superseded mode, so it won't get available, means it won't get patched on the end user machines. Okay, whenever the client trying to contact the SUP, okay, that its SUP WSS catalog has been updated, that particular update marked as a superseded. So the client won't get scanned. Which are the patches are active, only those patches get scanned.
Okay. I think superseded patches are still get scanned, and the superseded patches will be deployed and it will install on the machine. Only the expired patches will not get scanned, if I am correct.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Should we deploy superseded patches?
So with respect to scanning, say for example, you have update 1.0 and 2.0. If both updates are deployed to the machine, with respect to scanning, still the superseded updates get scanned. But if it finds that there is a newer version, it will not install that update. Only the expired updates will not get scanned and will not be able to deploy.
Yep. Yes.
Yes, this is Nawaz. So what I understand is that you have two deployments. One is for superseded and another one is for the newer one. And both are deployed on the same machine. Then the superseded won't get deployed and then the newer one will get installed.
Yes.
Deployed, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And one more question, Kannan. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. So as we know that when we deploy the patches, so if you can tell us how the information flows from server to client, and how the server get the compliance against the machines. How the information flow, in which form the information
I think that will
flows.
be explained in the next slides in the architecture.
Yeah. Okay. It's fine. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. I'll explain you. Okay, we'll go with best practices, how we are going to do that, everything. We'll discuss in the later. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
So hope everyone is clear on the patching icon, right? So
absolutely.
Okay.
I have one question on this supersede icon.
Sorry?
I have question regarding a supersede patches.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Can we deploy this supersede patch?
Okay, so okay, this is a kind of okay. You can download and deploy, but client means the update won't install on the end user machines.
Sorry,
no, you can deploy the superseded updates.
One
to the,
question.
Go ahead. Who's
Hello,
that?
Shekhar here. Actually, Shekhar here. For example, if I am doing n-1 patches, I'm present we are in April, right? So I'm planning to deploy n-1. So if I deploy March patches, you are saying it won't get installed?
No. If patches got superseded, it won't get installed.
See, when I was deploying, those are active, but I have not deployed April patches to the environment.
So in that case, right, you have to stop your updates not to sync with Microsoft. Then the patches will be active. For example, some companies, okay, some environment, right, they won't enable the automatic sync. They will do the manual sync. Okay, in that, for example, okay, for example, for example, April 14th, the new patch is getting released. Okay, they won't sync up with the Microsoft. They will sync up once that current patching cycle is completed. Then will they sync up with the next with Microsoft?
No, I think Kannan. So sorry to
Okay, I have one
interrupt
question.
you.
For example,
Yeah,
I am
I
using
think
ADR. I
it
am
needs
using
some
ADR.
correction. Yeah.
I am using ADR,
Yeah.
but ADR
Time, please.
sync is
One
different.
at a time.
Hello.
One at a time, please. One at a time. Yeah, please go ahead.
Shekhar here. For example, I am using ADR.
Mm-hmm.
For I have automated patching. See, ADR we contact the Microsoft update for different way, right? Compare with the WCS.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, my ADR schedule will be different.
Okay.
So actual my WCS content, for example, I have selected some catalog while configuring the SVP. They will sync every 7 days. But my ADR is it will create the update group and a deployment package. Then it will create the deployment. But it is different compared with SVP configurations. So in that case, my WCS database is updated as per the Microsoft update, but my ADR is not updated, but it has current deployments. It will affect for superseded one.
Yeah, can I answer this question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so Shekhar, the thing is whether a particular patch should be downloaded and installed or it should not be downloaded is decided on the client machine. First thing, okay. When the client scans, it will decide whether the patch should be downloaded from the DP or not. So that decision is based on with respect to supersedence topic. For example, you are deploying March updates in April after the April patches are released, and your ADR deployed March patches only. Though March patches are superseded, the clients will download from DP and they'll install. But if your ADR is deploying April plus March, both patches together to the client, then the client will use the intelligence that, okay, I received 2 patches, version 1 March, version 2 April. So I'll download only the latest one and I'll install. So March patches will be considered as superseded and they will not be downloaded, they will not be installed. Hope that will answer.
I think it's not about the client intelligence. I think when the WCS or SCCM syncs with the Microsoft, the metadata will be updated. It will be marked as superseded. Then the client will not download the superseded one. Instead, it will say it is not applicable.
That's right. Yes. So, say guys, okay. Okay, I never seen the superseded updates getting installed on the computer. Okay, so I never seen that. If correct me if I'm wrong, anyone see the superseded update get installed on the computer, right? So whenever the Microsoft decided that particular for an update got superseded, they marked as a superseded. In the superseded information, the new updates will be information will be available. Okay, you can check clearly on the updates or in the Windows update catalog. Okay, so the superseded information, which are the patches got superseded previously, what is the currently active patch for the superseded patch, all the informations are updated in the update informations. Okay, once a patch got superseded, okay, that patch won't be deployed to the end user machines. Even though if you are deploying it, it consider as a not applicable.
Yeah, Kannan, this is Gopal here again. But you know, I have seen this kind of scenario where guys are saying that the superseded patch can be deployed. Yes, I've seen that. And why I'm saying, because because in the console you can see the number of applicable machines against that superseded patch. So otherwise as you're saying that this superseded patch won't deploy, then I think the number of machines should be against that superseded patch should be 0. Yeah.
No. So what happened is whenever the patch got released, okay, whenever the patch got released, your machines get scanned. Okay. See, for example, it's not respect to a collection or your entire, for example, you in your infrastructure, you have both server and workstations, right? It gets scanned. It gets scanned. Those informations are available on the console. In the software at point says this patch is required. 500 machines not required, 200 machines unknown, 100 difference, right? Required means required and installed means its overall state which is scanned at the early stage. Even though if they marked as a superseded, that number won't change.
Okay.
Until the patch getting superseded, it gets scanned and updated in the console database, SCCM database.
Okay, this is Deepak here. I just wanted to make one point here that I heard someone saying if the update is superseded, you'll not be able to deploy, and you'll not. The clients will not be able to install it. We are still doing that because we are always patching for n-1, and we have made a setting into our SCCM infrastructure that don't mark any patch, expired patch or superseded patch as valid any longer before 45 days of time. If you can relate the setting which I'm talking about, where you go to the software update point properties and select this when this patch has to be, if a patch is superseded, for how long it is supposed to stay in your console or in your update metadata. So if you select it, don't mark it the vanish from the metadata for 45 days, you can still deploy that patch and it gets installed into the client.
Yes, Deepak, actually it is correct.
Exactly, that's my point as well. So superseded updates will be still downloaded from the client and installed. So when superseded updates will not be downloaded is only when you have the latest version already available on the client. That is when the superseded update will not be.
No, that is
Because most of
depends
the
on
organizations have the n-1 concept.
Depends on your.
We deploy March updates in April. So does that mean that client will say it's not required and it will not download and install? So yeah, that is the case basically.
That is depends on your synchronization settings.
Yeah.
That is what Kannan mentioned, right? So Ram, I think that is what Ram and Srinivas, right? I think that is what Kannan made. Kannan made a point like you can do a manual sync on the server side, so that the SCCM won't come to know like that patch is superseded or something like that, right? That's also an option. But if you have better experience in this scenario, yeah, thank you for sharing that, and it's improving my knowledge as well. Thank you for that.
It's getting improved for my knowledge, Anup. Yes, this is interesting. So let me explore it. That one.
Not that.
Yes,
guys.
So it's a healthy conversation, right? Yes, it's new to me as well. Let me explore it. That options as well.
So
probably we can come back and share more details, right?
Yeah.
We can
normally this type of issue occurs for, sorry, continue.
The setting is at SUP configuration, SUP setting in the primary site. Yeah, you can give a supersedence number of days a month you can set. According to that your metadata will be updated. If it is actually it is, that is the exact setting in the SUP set.
Yeah, that's correct, Sujit. So I was about to say, if we want to share something in depth, kind of real world experience, right? Like this, I don't know, Sujit, Ram, I don't know who else was there, Santosh, yeah, Srinivas, right? Anyone else want to speak up or share something as a slide or presentation, please reach out to me, right? So if you have a real world experience with log files and what is happening, or our Deepak is always there, so that's fine. Yeah. Thank you. Continue.
Thank you.
I know, sir.
Yeah.
I know.
Sure, Anand.
I
Thank you.
attend so many events, sir, what you have created.
Yeah. Okay. So can I move to the next slide?
Please.
Yes. Thank
Yes,
you.
Yeah,
yes,
go ahead.
please.
Okay. Okay. The next one is
So
how are we
Kannan,
doing
we are eligible. If any interviews in your in your team, we are all eligible now. We know
now?
what are the
Yes.
icons.
Understand. Yes. Now, right?
And we will take a
I agree
commission.
with you. No problem. We can take it. No
now
problem.
all the
No problem,
icons and
Sanu.
skins has been clear, right?
Yeah, very clear.
Guys, we are movewards towards the level 400 training. Okay. The next one is okay. How we are patching is one is internet. Okay. One is intranet. One is internet, one is intranet. Okay, right? Internet, everyone knows we are doing via our office network, right? Internet means okay, we are doing outside of office network, right? How most of the previously calls IBCM, the concept get changed. Okay, so how effectively we are doing internet-based clients. So internet, I'm sure that it's connecting locally and we have a SUP point, distribution point, management point, everything works fine. How are we managing internet-based clients? Okay, that we'll talk it later. Okay, that we will talk it later. How now, as for the COVID situation, how we can manage it using CMG or VPN, everything we'll discuss about later. Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, the next one is the software update point switching conditions. Okay, so hope most of the companies have multiple software update point, right? The first installed software update point, okay, we call it as previously it called it as a upstream server, right? Now we call it as a first software update point. Okay, the new terms. Okay, the first software update point which you configuring on your environment is the one it's connected with the Microsoft. Okay, then onwards you're configuring the second software update point. It will consider as a up. It will that content will be download from the first software update point, kind as a upstream and downstream servers. Okay. Any questions now?
No.
Okay, so hope everyone will have their environment. So previously, okay, the software update means SVP assignment for the clients. It's automatically. If you have two software update point, if you have a three software update point got map installed on your environment, okay, that client get the client or the client get assigned to the specific software update point by automatically based on the certain conditions, right? Now future now is you can manage the software update point based on the preferred management point concept. Okay, as based on the boundary group. How you managing the management point? Same like you can manage the software update point based on the boundary groups. Okay.
Boundary groups.
Okay, so if you have mapped the boundary group, you map the software update point, okay, it will assign to the specific software input instead of assigning automatically. Okay, and if client get failed, okay, that so and so reason the client is unable to communicate with the software. Okay, the client wait for 30 minutes and retry for the next scan. Okay, and it go for the fourth. If fourth is got failed, it go to the next one which is available. Map it to the boundary group. Okay, any questions on this slide? How the switching over?
Kannan, I have a question. Suppose we have a multiple SUP running using a single SysDB, right? And SysDBs are in a cluster.
Okay.
How many SUPs can support a single SysDB?
That's a good question. Interesting. So you're using a shared WSO database, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is using.
Okay, but honestly, I don't have an answer for that. It's a good question. Let me go through that. But I reviewed the documents. Sorry.
For SAP support for one SSD.
I read in some of the Microsoft Technique it maximum 4, but Microsoft people are telling as many. I don't know exactly what is the answer. That's what I asked you.
I don't think there is any number specified for that. Totally depends on the capacity of the server and client number of clients.
That depends on the, yeah. That depends on the server only.
Okay, one more question. If suppose
Yeah, before we move, if I understood the question correctly, the question was how many.
Deepak.
I'm sorry, did I cut off someone? I'm sorry. Please go ahead. Yeah, sir, go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
No worries, Deepak. So probably this is a stupid answer, right? Just to give you a background, right? all these SUPs, MPs, all the distribution points, how the client connects to those servers. What is the entry point? Do you all know that?
Yeah.
How the client connects to all these server components?
No, it will
What
not
do you mean
know
by
server
client
components.
connection?
No, what is the Windows
Through
technical
SCCM
component?
agent.
No. SCCM agent will initiate some communication with the site servers, right?
It's a
MP.
server level point, I think.
Yeah, right.
So,
AD side server.
Yep.
It's Windows Update Agent point that tries to create a connection.
no, for
no,
example,
initially machine takes the policy.
Management point.
management
Policy
point.
from
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
Management
management
point
point.
or software point. Software
Management
point.
point.
Okay, let me complete, please. Okay.
Yeah, let Anup complete the question. Yeah.
Okay, management point, SUP, or distribution point, right? Whatever, like the client will go to that particular server. Okay, that's fine. That we all know. But we are forgetting something before that, right? Before
Windows Update
reaching the management point, will it go through some services, Windows component services like IAS? Yes.
It's
Yeah, of course, IAS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it will.
So does IAS have some limitation? Has some limitation?
The number of
Like
yes, sir.
if like 25,000 clients are trying to connect the SUP IAS, or 30,000 clients are trying to connect the SUP IAS or MP IAS, how that IAS thing is going to react, right? So when we talk
Anup,
about
the question is not about client number of clients. It's about number of SUPs. So when we say number of SUPs, each SUP will have its own IAS, and each SUP will be on a different server.
obvious, yeah. But it is again going through a database, right? He said he's using a shared database.
Yeah, clustered
Yeah,
database.
correct.
Clustered database.
Hello.
See,
So
Hello.
we need to think about all these components, right? Then make a decision, right?
like
So that is why Microsoft won't be able to provide a specific answer to that question, right? So we need to work with Microsoft consultant and find out the best way in your organization, right? If that is the question.
okay, so it's based on the as correct, Anup. This is based on the capacity how your server has been hosted. How many VMs do you have? What is the disk space you have? And what is the disk space having a read and write capacity? Okay, what is the memory you have it? All to be considered. And how many clients are you going to support? It's totally as a capacity planning to be taken care of it.
Just to add, also the SQL version you are using. If it is a standard version, you can have maybe two nodes. If it is a data center version, it will be more nodes based on the SQL version also.
Yes. So and if you are using a shared database, how you are made the tempdb BB will make a major role on that, right? How you configure the dB based on the core processor cores, right? That's all depends.
Deepak, you were saying
Hello.
something. Deepak?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Go ahead, Deepak. Sorry, I cut you in between.
Yeah. No problem, sir. So,
Anup,
first of
actually,
all,
each software update point will be having a separate SSDB. So there will be not like a shared SSDB for each software update point. So in a single DB, we can have the multiple instance. That is the logic actually.
I thought like Sujit told us he is using the shared DB.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
cluster.
exactly. Anup. Yeah, yeah.
Krishna, I don't know from where you got that point, right? But we are specifically discussing about a scenario what a Sujit is sharing, right? What Sujit is sharing. But I agree with you, Krishna, on your point. If you are using different DBs, that's fine. Yeah, I totally agree with
Oh,
you, Krishna.
okay, thank you.
See, adding to that Anand point, right? So the IES load, right? So hope you of may have faced these issues. If number of clients simultaneously connecting to the IAS, right? So you can see for the software at point WSS pool gets stopped, right? We have to increase the private memory. By default, it's having 1.7 GB, but we are increasing by based on the RAM size. Maximum we are getting updated to 8 GB, right? That's what it is. Okay, guys. Okay, it's interesting. Okay, it's first session for me.
Kannan, I have one more question regarding same thing. Yeah, suppose we have 5 SUPs, right? Using the same DB, right? Then first will be you are telling you were mentioning that this is the initial first SUP that will be syncing with the upstream, right? Yeah. Then second SUP will be syncing with the first SUP initial first SUP. Yeah. Otherwise, the rest all SUP will be sharing. If it is sharing the same DB, it will be replicating. Yeah, it will be updating itself.
See, there is a yeah, that's correct. There is a replica server, right? There is a replica server, second SUP, called downstream server. That is totally different, right?
I am asking what is the exact thing happening. If it is data replication happening, yeah, it is syncing itself, just like a initial syncing.
Okay. See, for replica, right? It's copying the database what you have it in your primary means upstream servers get replicated. Okay, wherein syncing the downstream service is totally different concept, right? So
No, I am asking something else. You are asking answering something else. I am asking. Suppose we have a 5 SUP. First SUP will be syncing with the Microsoft, right?
Yes.
Catalog and rest all SUP. If it is sharing the same DB, then that all will be syncing with the initial SUP, first SUP. Yeah, it will be replicating. That is my question.
If you are using a shared DB, it's replicating.
Kannan, Sampath this side, I think I need to add some point here. I guess the SCP configuration is dependent on how you actually configure this setting as. Like if you want to connect to the upstream server or a Microsoft website, based on that setting only the sync will happen, unless these are related.
Yeah. So if you
if
go
it is
there,
upstream and downstream, yeah, obviously what you said is correct, Sujit. So it syncs from the upstream server directly.
Upstream server.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
if it
three
is
settings.
different
Go ahead,
SCP, the settings will be different. So the setting obviously has to be connect to some Microsoft server and download the metadata from it.
Yeah. So you can see that configuration, sync configuration, right? There is a 3 settings will be there. Which settings you have preferred to select, then based on that, it will work. It will get synced.
Now, anybody has any experience regarding this? Please share.
Hey, I have the shared database server for the SUB. 2 SUBs are running on the shared database. So first server is synchronizing with Microsoft, and second server is just replicating. It's not downloading anything. It's just replicating because it's a shared database.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you
So it
reflect,
depends on how the settings should be on your second SCP.
See, shared database, it's again, most of the times the team is configuring as a replication database. If you're having individual SUP, then the content gets synced with upstream server. Right?
So if I just I'll rephrase the question whoever asked, like how the software update point synchronization is happening from upstream and downstream. Did I understood it correctly?
Yeah, exactly. Same.
Okay, so I have separate databases for both of my software update points. Okay, I have two software update points, and one is upstream, the other one is downstream, and the downstream server still replicate the data from. I request whoever is not speaking, can you please go on mute? Yeah, that's better. So the upstream server, which is syncing up with the Microsoft Update Catalog, and the downstream server, which I have. Okay, I have separate databases for both SQL database, and the upstream server. I have a downstream server which is a replica of the upstream and replicates everything. Okay, from the upstream server, and you won't believe they both have a different database size. Okay, so it doesn't matter from where you are updating or how many SCPs you are really configuring. It totally depends on the configuration you are up to. That is the point I wanted to make. Okay, and moreover, if you guys want to take these specific configuration questions and all, then probably we should conduct another architectural event, so that we can come up with these questions and answers. These are all really valid questions though. Okay, but right now we are trying to focus on how the software update point switches its
I think
configuration. Yeah, so we should
that is the
stick
next
with the
slide of
topic.
architecture. We'll discuss
Yeah,
there.
so yeah. I knew that. I knew that. So please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, it's lots of interesting questions. Yes. Thanks, everyone. Okay, moving to the next slide is, okay, the next one is coming for it. Okay, plan for internet-based clients, right? This is something interesting topic. Now we can go with COVID-19 situations, right? Okay, the one is, okay, everyone is working remotely. Okay, most of the clients are connected to VPN. Okay, how are we managing it? The next one is, okay, the one, either we can manage via internet-based client management or cloud management gateway, or we can use intranet management as well. Okay, that's third. Last one is Windows Update for Business. It's for the modern desktop management. Okay, so internet-based client management. So we can manage the clients using internet, using HTTPS mode, whether the client will communicate it to the MP and SUP. The patches get downloaded from Internet DP, or it can be downloaded directly from internet. Okay, so now, okay, most of the clients are connected in VPN, right? Either they will connect it to Cisco AnyConnect or Juniper, what is called that?
Juniper.
Juniper, sorry, Pulse Secure, okay, or Palo Alto, right? These are the three VPNs I know. Is there any other VPN they're using in industry?
OpenVPN.
Yeah.
DirectX is always on VPN. These are the Microsoft VPN solutions.
Okay. So how are we
Direct
managing it? Yeah. So how are we managing it, right? It's connected in a VPN, right? So yes, everyone is work from home, right? They can download the if everyone is connected to VPN management point, okay, then the content download is a big task, right? So everyone trying to download the content from the distribution point, it will consume a network issues, right? They are over connecting over internet, right? In that case, okay, so what we are recommending to do is we are recommending to download that content directly from the Microsoft doing a VPN tunnel splitting, right? We can allow the Microsoft URLs to download the content. Client can download the content directly from internet, wherein scanning will happen over VPN.
Okay. I have a question, can I, if you want?
Yes, please.
Yeah, for just if for suppose we have some client connected to VPN and they scan the software update and gets the new software updates and they download it from Microsoft Update directly from internet. But our VPN client, has not access to internet. We have just intranet access.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, which can you suggest any recommendation?
Okay, in that case, okay. See, if you see, the internet has been blocked from your end, right? So wherein that your firewall, you have blocked the internet access. So wherein they can access only intranet, right? In that case, okay. So you have in that case, if you are hosting a DP on your environment, definitely it will consume the network bandwidth to download the content. Either you have to allow the specific URL, Microsoft URL, to allow outside of the your network to download the content. Else, all the clients will communicate to a local MP to get the download content from your local DPs. For example, you are in East Coast, right? Your clients are working remotely at West Coast. They are trying to connect from West Coast to East Coast over internet. Okay, for example, you have 1,000 clients at the same time they're connecting to your data center. Definitely the network bandwidth utilization will be high, and due to that other portals also got impacted.
Okay, it's clear now. Thank you, Kannan. I have another question. It's the last one.
No, okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, if the client download, it's connected over VPN, it get this new software update throughout the MP and the software update point. Then the client will disconnect from VPN. So did the client will download the content directly from Microsoft Update later, or no?
Sorry, can you repeat once again? The client means the client received the policy from MP and it has a software update to install it. Your question is whether the client will download the content from the internet, right?
Yeah, from internet later.
Yes, later, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So adding to this point, my experience I am telling, there is an option in boundary group, use cloud source for the content. If you enable, so client will directly connect to the internet first for downloading the updates.
Yes. So when we are deploying the updates, there is an option, right? Fast boundary group and slow boundary group. Don't select that one. Select as do not download the content from the distribution point. There is a third option. If the content is not available on the boundary, means a distribution point or nearby distribution point, you have to download the content from internet. Select that option. Don't select the last option called metered internet connection. It will cost your company.
Okay, Kannan, this is Nawaz. So if you are using that option, the one you said, okay, and I'm on a VPN, okay, and if I don't have a split tunneling enabled onto my VPN, then too I'm going to use my VPN bandwidth only, right? And that can, if there are a number of machines that are being set up to do such kind of deployments, then it can cause an bandwidth choke and all that can happen too, right?
Yep. Obviously.
Yeah, so what are the best practices when we speak about the VPN and then the other options such as downloading from the cloud or something like that? Then what are the best one to go with?
See, as of now, I never went to cloud management gateway. Just I'm talking about the VPN options. Okay. So VPN options, the best practices, what we approached it is, see, what we did it is actually VPN. Now, as in situation, the VPN range is huge, right? Okay, that because the IP addresses subnet, it depends on your environment, right? So what we recommend is allow the Microsoft URL from the VPN split tunneling, right? Okay, from that, okay, the client will receive the policy from the MP, okay, and get scanned via SUP, and the specific all the updates to be directly downloaded from internet. So it won't use your VPN tunneling. Instead of that, the same client will directly download from the internet. For example, I'm connected from my home. Okay, I'm connected to my office VPN, right? My client will communicate it to my local MP, my local SUP, wherein the content, specific content will be downloaded from internet. That time it will use my home internet. It's not by office network.
Okay. So you said you need to block some URL or you need to route some URL, right? Is that correct?
That's called VPN tunneling. Yes, splitting.
That's called a VPN splitting
Yeah,
tunneling. Okay.
split channel. Yeah.
Yep.
Kannan, I have a small question. If split tunneling is disabled in our environment, in that case?
That case, all the traffic will go to your data center where you hosted the DP, MP, SUP.
Kannan, I think you, as you suggested to me, you can limit the download speed or downloading bandwidth for the client policy in a client policy, right? That can be done for the VPN users who can't divert the traffic.
Yes, that you can be done.
In a client policy, you can define the bandwidth. How much
the
it
client
can
policy
per client.
you can, your client policy you can define the bandwidth. The challenge over might be not, I'm not faced any issues. Okay, the challenge is, okay, if you take Windows 10 Windows 10 updates, right? So Windows 10 updates up come to 400 MB. Okay, for example, 400 MB also, if you limited the bandwidth, it will take a longer time to install, download and install on your client environment instead of directly connecting to the internet.
Yeah, that's true. This is Nawaz again. I just like to share my experience in last 2 to 3 days. We had a patching plan starting from Friday. Okay. Now, as we know that we are on VPN, and it was pretty much difficult for us since the VPN tunneling was disabled. The numbers of the machines that were supposed to patch globally were something around about 200 plus machines, 250 plus machines. So what I did is I deployed a bits policy on those machines. So starting from morning 7 to evening 7, the contents for the SCCM will be only downloaded at the speed of 16 kbps. Okay, and after from later in the evening from 7 till morning 7, if they are on VPN, then they will continue to download. And believe me, it worked. Okay, it worked for my all of the 200 plus users. And only thing that I did was I with the help of my networking team, I increased the time for the VPN connections. So first it was like an one VPN connection can be there for continuously for 15 hours, and I increased it for 24 hours. So instead, if the machine user has done the work, instead of powering off the machine, he can leave it on the VPN, and then the patching can continue. And it did, and it worked.
Yeah, so there is an option, right? So additionally, right, so for these scenarios, right, we have changed the power settings for all the computers. We moved to high performance power settings instead of that.
I missed to mention that, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
So what happened is in this scenario, right, so we have to change the power settings using a GPU. Okay, so that, so most of the users are connected the computer using a power card, right? In that case, the computer won't get switched off. Okay, it's easy for us to do better patching compliance. The client will receive that, it will take longer time, it's get downloaded. Yes, and additionally, as he said, as we have to increase the timed out period of the VPN connection.
True.
Hi, question here. I have one question. For the internet user, is it required any SSL certificate or self-sign certificate to communicate? Or is it only HTTP will work for the internet client as well?
No, it's internet based. You have to have an SSL certificate in place.
Okay.
So the client should have the client template is workstation certificate. Okay, it should have client authentication options. Okay, so then only it will communicate it to your internet-based MP. Okay, and internet-based DP and internet-based SUP.
No, so we need to buy that SSL certificate from the third-party facility, or we can use the same self-signed certificate.
No, you can use your own. If you have your own PK infrastructure, you can use it. Or else, if you are using a third party, then you can buy for a third party one.
Kannan, in the last call is last week, okay, we had the same scenario that if we are using an internal certificate, then we need to have those machines once connected to their on-premises servers to get that certificate enrolled. Is it something related to this answer that you gave now? Or we are, if we have got an public certificate like an for the DT cert or something like that, then it will work.
Yeah. So what his question is whether we need to go with internal certificate or he can go with external third-party certificate. It's
Third
based on
party.
his company. It's based on his company requirement.
So, Kannan, maybe
So,
a web
Kannan,
certificate. Yeah, maybe the web certificate, which is extra required. Otherwise, machine certificates can be used. I think you have to stress on that part so that people understand.
Okay.
so
Okay. From the server
Kannan,
side, yes. Go ahead.
Kannan, hold on. Rajul here. I can explain that scenario. So people, we get this question very frequently. Yesterday also we answer this question. So to make everyone understand, we can have internal PKI SSL certificate for communication. Okay, and third-party certificate is not recommended for all the workstations because it becomes very difficult for managing. So if you are managing around 1,000 or 2,000 machines, client machines, and in that case you need to acquire 2,000 third-party certificates. And when these third-party certificates are about to expire, you have to renew those certificates manually one by one. So it becomes very painful for managing the third-party certificate for the workstations. But if you are using a cloud management gateway, you can go for a third-party certificate on cloud management gateway because it is only one certificate which you are dealing. Otherwise, we have to go with the internal PKI certificate, or else you can go with the enhanced HTTPS.
It's pretty much clear now. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have a question here.
Yeah, Kannan, Roshan here.
What ports are needed to work on the patching part if the clients are on VPN or it is whether it is a split tunneling or a split VPN?
Sorry. Can you go ahead?
What ports are needed to? What ports are mandatory to be opened by the network team so that they can clients can communicate the server? Whether
Okay.
it's a client to client.
Okay, there is a net Microsoft URLs are there, so you can allow these URLs. Okay, so that URLs always change the IP ranges in the backend, so we can't specific to CDNs because instead of that we can directly allowing only Microsoft URLs.
Okay.
Yeah.
About ports, right? Somebody was just asking about what ports needed.
Yeah.
Kannan, small question. Because of LCUs, the size of the patches will be huge, right? So.
Sorry, can you tell me?
Because of LCUs, latest cumulative updates, the size of the patches will be huge, right? So as users are connected to VPNs, is there any way we can have the only this month patch changes alone to deploy?
I don't think so. See, even sometimes, right? For example, for March month patches, right? If I'm downloading for 1709 or 1803 or 1809, right? So I can see that cumulative updates or the regular cumulative update is about 400 MB, wherein it's download additionally in the, if you see that download content, right? Download the content, it's download the express updates as well. It comes to around 6 GB. It's Microsoft decisions, right? Based on the scanning, if your machine is not up to date for more than 2 months or 3 months, then the express updates going to install it. Wherein if your machines are up to date, only record this month update, then the regular update going to install it. It depends. But not sure how we can avoid that one.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Hey, sorry guys.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Just I have a question. I mean, what someone explained two minutes back that for CMG, if we have one certificate, then it's okay. But for CMG also, the clients need the certificate, right? I mean, the one certificate you're talking about, it's for the CMG.
Okay, as of now, I never went to CMG. As of now, we are discussing about internet-based client management or using VPN. Okay, let me go with the CMG.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, CMG, yes, good. Okay, CMG, as most of the clients are moving to CMG now. Okay, yes, clients need a certificate. Yes, you are correct. Client need a specific certificate called same work means workstation certificate. It's required. It has a client authentication is needed. Okay, but CMG is, as you know, right? Uh, you can host a multiple service connection point. Okay, on the same site server, but how are we managing it? Okay, like for example, yeah, so if you are having a HTTP okay, and the VM host from the CNG, it support up to 6,000 clients. A single VM can support up to 6,000 clients. Okay, so you must host number of VMs based on your environment. Okay, for example, you have 10,000 clients on your environment. Somebody asking something? Did I interrupt?
No. Actually, the few days back, I had a call with Microsoft, and I asked them the same question that it supports for the 6,000 connections. So that time, they were updated me that this count is not that much parallelly. I mean, at a single instance, it is not able to serve the points of the 6,000 client. So, I mean, when I was explaining this to my manager, so I considered that it supports the connection to 6,000 instances at single point. But when I asked these questions to the Microsoft team, so they are suggesting that simultaneously it's supposed to the 6,000s, not any single point.
Okay, got it. Okay, so but we had a discussions like in the site it get updated as a support to 6,000 clients, right? Okay, so again that VM cost on it. Okay, and the additionally, okay, where your clients are hosted, okay, using a CMG, yes, you can deploy the updates using internet. So how are you doing from VPN? The same way if you configure the CMG, okay, you can directly tell your client to download the content from internet. Okay, again it's need a VPN splitting. If your machine is connected to VPN, okay, it's need a VPN splitting. Okay, the second one is, okay, that is one cost involved. I'm talking about the cost. Okay, then I'm coming to the configurations. Additionally, I'm telling about the configurations. Okay, so first you have to enable the service connection point. So how many VMs got hosted? Okay, everything. That's your.
Then I have one question.
Yes, please.
Maybe Kannan completes the whole configuration details, and then we note down the questions and we set it out, because it's losing a link. That is a better option.
Better options, yes. Okay, the second one is,
I thought
okay.
that was the point about the democracy, right? Where is Sampath?
I am here. Playing
Okay.
safe. Okay, you are playing safe.
Okay, so it's interesting, right? So everyone, every environment is configured differently in the CMG cloud gateway. I'm talking about the general topics. If you implement any best practice, let me know. Definitely, it will help us to explore more and provide more solutions on it. Okay. The second.
Hey, Kannan, sorry to interrupt. My name is Kumaran. I work for Singapore Telecom from Singapore. Here, due to the COVID situation, most of my users are working from home. I have about 25,000, client machines. So far, we never implemented any of these internet-based client concepts in my environment. Now we are in a situation where, next 2 months lockdown here. So we have to patch our clients. So what would be your, best suggestion, and how I need to be prepared, to support in terms of patching these machines? Because our VPN bandwidth is so low. We never estimated, such crisis situation. It's only about 1 gigabit, which we cannot expand as well at this moment. So we don't want, use VPN way of patching. So we are looking for similar like the internet-based clients, how to handle like either through the IBCM concept or cloud management gateway. So
no, I won't recommend to
you know,
go with IBCM because you were already VPN is having a low bandwidth, right? Maybe your VPN server not handle much traffic, right? So it will allow only the internal portals, right? In that case, I would suggest to go with cloud management gateway.
okay, other side, we also have Intunes, but we are not using that to manage any of the physical machines. It's only we use for the mobile device management. So is there anything that that can be helpful of?
See, if you want to patching best way, right, you can go for you can enable lot of services, right? You can go for Windows for Business as well
management.
to enable patching. There are a lot of kind work to be happened, architectural work to be happened to do a patching on your environment. If you are not going with the cloud management gateway, you want to go with Intune with Windows Business, Windows Update for Business. Yes, you can.
So which would be the easiest and fastest way you think at this situation, like most of us are working from home, and I'm sure architectural planning and all is not going to help us because next 2 months lockdown. So what is your advice for me? Can I go with cloud management gateway or
Yeah, cloud
anything that I
management
need to?
gateway is the best option.
Hey,
Okay.
Kannan, I have a suggestion and all.
Yeah,
My
but
previous
cloud management gateway with split tunneling, okay? Be very
With
clear.
split tunneling, very clear, okay? Because when even though we are connected to VPN, okay, that the client has to connect to the Microsoft to download the updates. That options to be enabled your VPN. Bypass the download URL, simple as it is.
Kumaran, are you able to see the chat which I just pinged one link? Did you go through that by any chance?
Okay. No, I'm not on chat now. Okay, I'll check to that.
Okay, so yeah, that was published by Anup few I think 1 or 2 weeks before. So that's giving a very good that's giving a very good information how to help to reduce the VPN load actually, and there are many ways mentioned in that. So if you can go through that, please.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
The chat is visible to all. I think I cannot see it. Santosh here.
Yeah. Chat is not visible.
I'm not able to see my chat because I made it as a presentation mode. Okay, so
Kannan,
yeah, go ahead.
Kannan, coming to another question in the same regards, then there's two options are there, CMG and you mentioned that CMG is a better. So any specific reason Windows for Business will take time? Why it is not? Because same questions asked by the management. Out of two, if we have to go with one, and what are the pros and cons? So any specific, not to touch on largest extent, but 1 or 2 points, which gives a better view that CM could be a better compared to Windows for Business.
Okay, so but
Kannan, I have an experience if I can talk.
Go ahead, please. No worries.
Yeah. So basically, I worked with Syngenta, which is my previous organization. So it's a product-based industry. So we want to manage all the devices using SCCM, and we are using Cisco AnyConnect as a VPN solution. So usually all the patching happens through VPN, but because of this situation, so even though you publish or you deploy the software patches through SCCM using Microsoft or download widgets from Internet option in SCCM, the patches will still not download unless you have a group policy enabled in it. So there is an option called a Windows Update registry key where you need to enable in order for patches to download from Microsoft website and install it. And when you are using SCCM as a device management, you have to disable that. And since this is a COVID situation where no one has expected, so we can actually enable those policies from the group policy, and the the software updates will be directly downloaded from Microsoft. So that is my suggestion in this critical situation.
That means you are asking to
So that is
enable the Windows
understood.
updates.
Question was specific to.
Sorry, one at a time.
Yeah, continue. Sorry, guys.
No, somebody has asked a question. I didn't get it.
Okay.
No, Sampath, the question was related to choice between. Question was comparison or given.
See, you already, the comparison is, okay, you already having a SCCM infrastructure, right? So you're enabling the cloud management gateway. It's easy steps to move forward because you're already having SCCM infrastructure. Wherein if you go with the Windows update for business, yes, a lot of work to be done on the back end. Okay. And the second one is, okay, whenever you're going for the cloud management gateway option, you have a time to perform the testing and roll back the updates, right? So most of the companies before deploying the updates, they are doing the internal testing and they are deploying the updates to the end user machines. Wherein Windows for updates for business, yes, you can do it, but I heard a lot of some challenges will be there on that.
Yeah, of
So can I
course. If the patches are installed all of a sudden and if it goes into a blue screen mode, then nobody will help. Yeah, of course there are challenges, but I suggest that's it's a 50% chance. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to tell you guys that.
Okay. So
Can I
so
add one more point to this? Because when we're talking about Windows Update for Business, so one thing which basically we experienced also that when you enable over the internet, a lot of things you can restrict via the group policy, as somebody said. Yeah, you can block OS updates coming in, you can drivers or something you can block, but there are a lot of junks also comes when you enable Windows Update for Business, and that basically you are enabling everything and losing control over your SCCM. So you are
Exactly. Yes.
see, that's a
No, actually
reason.
we can pause the feature updates as well from this
Okay,
group
that's
policy point of view. Yeah, but Windows updates with Windows updates you'll get everything installed, including drivers, whatever junk, everything. Yes, that's correct.
So that's a see again. That's what see we how we that's what SSCM become a success means. We have a lot of options to do a performance testing, right? So we do a testing, then we can have a control on it, roll back immediately. All the options are available. Okay, and we are deploying only the specific updates, not to all the updates. Wherein yes, you can do via Windows update for business, but you have to do lot of groundwork to filter all those updates. For example, if you have done all the activities, the next month what happened in other category got included. Those updates is coming part of your deployment, right? It may impact your environment. Okay, so
Yeah, that's what I agree. Out of all these, GPO tweaking and all, I think we should move over towards cloud management gateway. Today, COVID situation, so we are going to allow internet downloads, Windows update in GPO and all. We may not sure next situation may happen similar.
yeah,
All
that's
users
right.
going to come to office,
Yeah,
right? And your office network is going to choke. So
yes.
I think we have to move towards cloud management. I think that's the best, suggestion, Kannan, what you suggested.
Yeah. So the next
Kanan,
one is go ahead.
one question.
Let us
I know
let
I'm
us
betting
continue.
on
Let us
CMG.
continue with the cloud management gateway because we are diverting from the topic. Maybe.
Okay.
Okay, see now, okay, so how are we going to configure? It's a simple configuration, right? For the Azure level, whenever you are configuring the cloud management gateway, okay, you should have the global admin access to create the server app and the client app. Okay, because it has to, you have to know the tenant information, you have to know the client secret ID, everything, right? For that, you have to either you have to engage with your identity team or AD team to do that. Okay, that you have the global admin access. Okay, and additionally, you have to enable two classic features. Okay, one for storage. I forgot one more. You have to enable that need a global admin access, and that is from the Azure side. Coming to the SSCM side, okay, whenever you're creating the connecting with the cloud management Azure app, okay, you must have the either you must have the subscription access, Azure subscription access of your tenant, or you should be have the co-administrator access to do that. These are the prerequisites to create the cloud management gateway. Okay, yes. you should engage your internal certificate team to create the certificate as well. Either if you have an internal PKI team, you can use it, or you can coordinate with the external certificate vendor also to create the certificate to configure in the server app. Okay, clear with the access level?
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is,
can you please explain on this two app wise?
Yeah, and sorry guys, I have a question over here. So, is it a possible to like mixing the certificates? Because I mean, if we already have internal certificates for our clients, so those the clients will be using internal certificate, and for CMG we can use the external certificate. Can it be done something like that?
yes, yep. So
Okay.
for client side, it's not required any additional certificate. The client side need an workstation authentication certificate called client authentication certificate. It will communicate it to PK structure, PK infrastructure. That's all.
Okay.
As far as it has to communicate your infrastructure using HTTPS mode, that's more than enough.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So to add up on that, if you are already using the PKI infrastructure and you have the workstation authentication certificate, you need to check one thing, that is the key length of the certificate. So normally you might have used a 1024-bit key length, but for CMG to work, it should be 2048 key length.
Yep.
That is the only difference that you need to make sure.
Yep. Both web server and that's correct. Thanks for bringing it out. Both web server and the client certificate need a key length is for 2048 minimum key length.
2048, yeah. So existing infrastructure, people who are using existing workstation certificate, if they are looking for utilizing the same certificate for CMG, yes, you need to change the key length from 1024 to 2048.
Okay.
Otherwise, it should work perfectly.
It should work now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, coming to the distribution point. Okay. Okay. So, do we really need a cloud distribution point? I can say yes, but don't distribute any content to the cloud distribution point. Okay, as of now. Okay, so what we are suggesting is, okay, you can configure the CMG gateway only for the management and communication, software update point communication, wherein you can do the VPN split tunneling, allow the Microsoft URL to download content directly, means client can download content from directly from the Microsoft. Okay, in that way you can save a lot of cost involved in it. If you want to distribute the content to the DP, for example, if you want to deploy the Windows updates, you can deploy the updates to your cloud DP. From the cloud DP, the client trying to download it, which is cost involved in it. Okay, both are same. If the content is downloaded from the DP is the same, where the content is downloaded from the Microsoft is the same, nothing difference. Okay, again, it depends on the environment, right? Some of the environment restricting not to communicate with outside of the network. Yes, in that case, yes, you can have the cloud DP and distribute the content to the cloud DP, and the client will communicate to the cloud DP, download the content. Any questions?
Kannan, what's the limit for these clients to connect to the cloud DP? Is that the same as the normal distribution point, 2000 concurrent connection?
Can you go ahead?
No, how many machines can connect to this cloud distribution point at the same time? Concurrent connections. Is it 2000?
It's a cloud not having any restriction on it, wherein local DP has it.
Yeah, local DP has 2000. Yeah, that's what I know. So, yeah.
I think
I have
4,000. You go ahead, please.
I have a question. Like we have a cloud management gateway for one of the customer. So what happens is the traffic is going to download from Microsoft like DL.download. Yeah, but it's taking long time getting paid. So this is the expected behavior, because no, we are facing the issue from the February month. Updates are going well, but from February we see a lot of failures in the cloud management, because no, most of entire one of the site entire connecting to the VPN to download the softwares and as well as patching, but we see there are 50% of failures. So it taking, even I tried manually downloading using the, well, it's taking long time. This is the expected expected behavior from Microsoft to download the patches?
I don't think so. We are not experienced these issues. Might be you can try some of the time. Yes, I understand. See, again, it's the patching schedule is totally different. So might be we see a lot of traffic when we the patch releasing for Wednesday. Whenever the patch got released on Tuesday, we are everyone is trying to download the content for the SSCM on Tuesday onwards, right? Yes, we do see some traffic, but it's not be a huge traffic. You're not able to download. It's not. That is a rare case we have seen.
Okay, but we are also downloading we are also testing from Windows 10 in-place task sequence. That 30 GB able to download within 5 hours of time. That is working. That Cloud DP is working fine. But coming to patches, it's taking the very slow to download the patches from the Microsoft, where we can check anything else apart from it.
You mean
Maybe
say? Sorry, someone is ask.
maybe non-business users. Business users also trying to download the patches from Microsoft, right? Maybe that's why download speed is low.
Yeah. And even before the COVID-19 also, we have the same situation after patch release after 15 days also, we see very slowly it's getting downloaded. So we do need to check any other settings or do.
See,
because
you see that machine is connected to VPN.
No, in the office network also we have the same issue because no entire one site itself there is no local DP. The client is requested for a cloud DP, so it is configured like that. So there are a lot of subnets. Yeah.
Then probably
Cloud
you have to
management
check with the
gateway.
network
Sorry.
team. Probably you have to check with the network team how the network has been configured from there, and they have maybe restrictions of 8530 port to be 8 means what is called 8 Microsoft URL specific URLs have a download limit.
Microsoft URLs itself a download limit. Okay, in internal site, internal network team.
Yeah, they may be having restrictions. Yes.
Okay, fine. That I checked it, but there is said from the proxy and then there is said there is no limitations as kept.
Yeah. See, it's most of the customers are not reporting us sometimes it may be not all the times.
Okay, fine.
No, but what question here is okay, it's only for a particular branch offices where small users are there. Okay, understood. Sorry.
Yeah. So, any more questions on this slide? So,
Yeah,
about
Kannan.
cloud management. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just one last question. Maybe.
One at a time, please. Hello.
Okay. Kumaran here again.
Yes,
Okay,
on HTTPS only. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Kumaran, go ahead.
Okay, bro, go ahead. I'll ask next. I'll wait for you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so the two configuration HTTPS and HTTP or HTTP. So is it use HTTP or HTTPS, or we can have HTTP and for the communication with this or to the rest of MPs. Do we have to switch to HTTPS? Is it compulsion? Or can we use the HTTP and still configure CMG because we don't want more changes on the SCCM environment?
No, HTTP.
So can you touch upon that enhanced HTTP? What is that and how we can leverage?
Oh, okay. So you want to configure MP on the cloud management gateway, right? It should be in HTTPS mode. You can't communicate HTTP with cloud management gateway.
Or can we have HTTP?
Your voice is breaking.
There's another option, right? HTTP and CTS. So.
No, your voice is breaking. No, still we are getting some background noise.
Okay, let me try again. So there's something enhanced HTTP which can be leveraged. So just what I do. Can you touch upon that enhanced HTTP? What is that and how we can use it for CMG?
That's a good one. I never explored enhanced HTTP. So as of now, we have enabled HTTP in MP. Then we promoted into service connection point as a cloud gateway. I never touched about enhanced HTTP. If anyone knows, please.
Kannan, we enable. Vajal here. I'll explain that. So your question is like you have an SCCM environment where it is running fine with HTTP, but you want to install the cloud management gateway. So do you want to convert the entire infrastructure into HTTPS? Is that your question?
Yeah. Spot on.
Okay. So yeah. So in that case, if you don't want to touch anything with your current infrastructure, you can install a new site server and configure the MP and WSS on that server and convert it into HTTPS and allow only internet traffic. So there is an option for selecting allow only internet traffic. So in that case, your existing SCCM environment, which is on HTTP, will be untouched and all your internet traffic will be taken by this new site server. Okay. And regarding the enhanced
Okay,
HTTP.
so that site server should.
Yes.
No,
That site server.
So can you just let me know if you are using VPN, what will happen? It will be considered as internet or it will be considered as the internet?
So again, if you're using VPN, you need to use the split tunneling.
See, if you are using a VPN,
Raju,
it
for
will
that
split
new
tunneling.
site server,
The
it should be
communication
using.
will happen in HTTP mode. Okay, wherein the download will happen on internet.
So I have one question, if I
Yeah,
can
Raju,
ask.
you can proceed.
Yeah, so again, regarding the enhanced HTTP mode, so if you want to go with enhanced HTTP, you can enable that option on the primary site or central site, wherever it is. So what happens is that ConfigMgr creates a certificate and that certificate will be used for the authentication. So that is what the enhanced HTTP method. All authentication happens through the ConfigMgr generated certificate. You need, but still
so there is
you
no
need
need of any third party or internal PKI certificate.
You don't need a PKI infrastructure, but definitely you need a certificate for cloud management gateway. So CMG certificate is different.
Okay.
And the workstation authentication certificate different, and the MP certificate is different. So there are different certificate requirements. So you need to look into those certificate requirement, and based on that, you need to select whether you need to go for the PKI infrastructure or the enhanced HTTP.
Okay. Yes. So one is coming to the PK infrastructure, right? So yes, you have a own PK infrastructure. Yes, it's easy for you. If you go for external, for example, if you're getting a certificate from Symantec or any other third-party vendor, yes, there are 3 certificates required. Okay, one is for MP, it's a web server certificate. It's a default web server template. You can use that, create a certificate. Coming to the cloud management gateway, you have to enter the DNS as well. That's configuration is totally different. Okay, for the workstation is simple workstation. Any workstation certificate authentication is available on your client computer. Easy for get the communication to the cloud management gateway server.
Raju, again, on the new sites, use rules with the MPN sub, and then you can allow only internet traffic, and then create the cloud management gateway. So the rest of the environment is untouched.
Yep.
Yes, rest of the environment will be untouched and it will work as normal.
Yep.
So final question, like in SUP properties also, we need to select the routing allow to the cloud management gateway in SUP properties.
Yes, definitely. Definitely, if you want to scan the machines for the latest update, then you need to allow the SUP also to route the traffic to the cloud management gateway.
Okay.
Hey Raju, Kumaran here.
Hey, hi, Kumaran.
I call you tomorrow because I'm asking all basic questions. Maybe I get clarified with you separately. Yeah, I don't want to disturb the session.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, now one more feature is coming up right now. Now using a boundary group. Okay, for example, if you have a VPN connections, you don't want to do communication. Means if you are in a connected network, you can specific that. For example, you can split it. For example, you have a VPN boundaries, right? So, for example, 10 IP addresses to communicate it to the local VPN, 10 to 15 you can communicate to the cloud management gateway. Yes, you have an option to do that using a boundary groups. Now we have an option 1910 onwards. You can create own boundary group for this based on the IP addresses. It will communicate to the cloud management gateway. Rest of the machines will communicate to the local MP. Yes, you have an option to do as well. You can split that communication. Half of the client will go to the local VPN, half of the client will go to the cloud management gateway. Yes, you have an option to do that as well.
Hi Kannan. I have one question. So before you said that all the means system will get a MP policy through the SCCM, but the patches will get download through the internet. So I just want to cross verify with you. In my organization, I have like a thousands of machine laptop across the world, and I enable the same settings. Actually, I am not sure is that the there is a down check mark is there na download from the internet. So that I clicked on, and my patch means my patch downloading schedule is like the 1 month. Sorry, the 1 week I gave a time to distribute the complete this the all the patches KB, that means policy will get distributed for a 1 week, and after the next week only the download process will start. So the my question is that if I enable that particular option means download from the internet, so at that particular time if machine is not connected to the VPN and policy is already means the system is already have that policy, so in that scenario, all the patches will get downloaded through the internet without any issue, or that will get blocked means or that will again get break or something error will come.
No, correct me if I'm wrong. Your environment is you deployed the group to a computer, right? That computer made patch available for a week. After 1 week, you set a deadline to install it,
Yes,
right?
yes, that's correct.
So
Yeah.
okay, if the computer receive the policy, right? Yes, if computer receive the policy, patches are available, right? Once the deadline got reached, it get downloaded from the Microsoft, get it installed.
Okay, so in that after the week, if machines are not in the VPN also, it will get download from the internet and it will get installed, right?
No, no. If not in connected internet, how a client
No,
will receive
not
the
VPN. Sorry, VPN.
no,
I
no,
am saying.
no. If the machine is not connected to the VPN, right?
Huh?
How the SSCM will communicate it to your SSCM, your site server? SSCM
Because
not.
yeah, the earlier first week I already distributed my policies, right? So I distributed my policy to all the machine. I gave a 1 week of time to all the my client. So all the client have that that the data. Okay, this all the KBs will get a download and installation at that particular date. So once that particular date is coming, and that time system is not connected to the VPNs, so patches will get download or it will get break.
That's a typical question, sir. Okay.
Can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Prasad,
Yeah.
when you deployed this particular patches, have you selected that option if the patches are not available on the distribution point downloaded from internet? If
Yeah,
it's
that is
enabled,
what I'm trying to check. Actually, I just want I thought to check that option, but my VPN only is
if
not
you have
aiming.
not
So
enabled that option, you will not be the patches will not download from the internet.
See,
or
one
if it
is,
is enabled,
let me tell
then
you, okay, well, let me tell you, okay, if your communication is break up from between client to server, okay, if the communication break up, the client won't acknowledge the request, right? Client won't say, hey, the patches are available to get it download from internet. Won't do that, because once the connection is established, then it will pull the policy from the MP, then it will pull the updates from the Microsoft.
Exactly. No, but what he's saying is the patches are already deployed, so it will anyway show in the software center showing the deadline. So this is the time that would install. Yeah. So when his question is, if the machine is not connected to VPN, will the patches get installed in the system or not? So yeah, my answer would be only if you select that option. If the patches are not available on the distribution point, download it from internet. If you enable that option, then the patches will install directly from the internet. Otherwise, it won't.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Correct if I'm wrong, Kannan.
No, sir, I've never experienced this.
No, he's asking. I enabled this
I
option.
would say no. I would say no, because as far as the communication breaks up, right? So client won't ask you to download the content from the Microsoft. The connection to be established.
So usually, you know, settings
when,
is usually
to download
yeah
from
yeah the yeah the patching deployment I made like, you know, the policy like each month 4th week it will get, you know, the policy will get applied to all the across the systems. So I given a 1 week of time, and then the like once the this week is getting finished and next Monday date is coming, and that particular, you know, it will force installation will get started. So only concern is that like on that particular date, if machine is not connected to the VPN,
it breaks up. I don't think so it will get installed.
No, I guess the patches will be already downloaded in the system and it is waiting for the deadline to install the patches. Because I've seen this situation before.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the client already has the policy and the patches are already downloaded, so it has to be downloaded basis the deadline that is given by the admin. Is what I'm.
Okay.
Just a time check. This is Anup here. Just time check. We are almost done with our schedule, I feel, because it was scheduled for 2 hours, but I will let Kannan to finish, and probably we can stretch for another 20 minutes or so, if that's okay with you all.
Yeah,
it's fine.
That's fine. Okay. So any questions on this slide? Okay. Any questions on this slide? Plan for internet-based clients.
Kannan, this is Hemant.
Yeah, tell me, Hemant.
Yeah, actually, we have recently configured the CMG on our environment. So once the device is like getting the CMG MP settings and those things, after that the device need to connect VPN or not required. Actually, we are deploying few patches or something like application from the CDP.
No, once you configure the cloud management gateway, does it need to connect it to a VPN, because it's always connect to internet, right?
Yeah.
That's what the concept. It's not needed.
That's the concept.
Yeah.
Actually, before that CDP, the CMG configuration, we like added the boundary groups in for the VPN ranges to get the SCCM service. So after this configuration, we removed these VPN IPs from the boundary groups, but still when the device comes to VPN, it's trying to reach the like local DPs instead of the CMG.
Now then you have to check with your configuration settings. Okay, see how you configure the VPNs, like for example, what kind of deployment you deployed it. So you should, whenever you deploy the updates, like to connect it to the internet, you should say do not download the updates from the distribution, but that option you have to select on the deployment side.
Even if I deploy the like applications also, it will be like trying to reach the local DP instead of CDP.
That's it. If you have a log, then we can check it out why it's reaching out. So again, it's based on the configuration, the boundary groups apps mapped properly.
Actually, we removed the boundary groups assignment for the local DPs for these VPN ranges.
So which management point it's mapping to on the client? on the
It's a
client
primary.
side.
That's mapping to primary.
Which management point is, if you configure the cloud management gateway, right, that if you go to the client side, you have to communicate with management point is primary. Obviously it goes to the primary or whatever it may be. Okay, but you have to check with which management it communicated to.
Okay,
See, there are two logs. Okay, the location service and client location log, check it out.
Yeah, okay. I checked only DP only there. It was trying to reach local DP. I didn't check the which MP it was trying to reach.
Yep. Okay. So yes, coming to the next point is best practice of software updates and configuration managers, right? So this is the operational updates, right? So yes, every month we are creating the software update groups for the patches. Okay. For the next month, how we are managing it? Okay. There's Microsoft recommending to have limit software updates to 1,000 in a single software update deployment. Okay, for example, if you create a software update group, that software update group has only 1,000 updates, right? So for more than 1,000 updates, it's not recommended by the Microsoft. But we are not having that much updates, right? So we are having less than 1,000 updates in the software update group. How we are managing it, right? So I would always request to do a cleanup on based on your infrastructure. Okay, I will always request to do the cleanup on every 2 months once. WSS cleanup, either you have to do in an automated way or you can do it in a regular way to perform the cleanup. And additionally, you have to best way to manage the software update deployments. So you can see that whenever the client's getting started the scanning, you can see that logs, W handler logs, okay, right? It will ask, it will go for number of deployments. So for example, I have one deployment for Windows 7, I have one deployment for Windows 10, I have one deployment for Offices. I'm mapping to the same Windows 10 client, right? It will go for number of deployment has been identified, and it will say this patch is not required. You can check that update store.log. It says that not required, not required, right? So please perform the WSS cleanup frequently and ensure that you can remove the unwanted deployments, so that you have to effectively manage the software update group. In that case, you will not get any errors for the scanned time dot errors or deployment errors. Any questions? Okay. I have a lot of things, right? So, okay, coming to this one, Office 365, right? To now the coming with Office 365. Go ahead. Someone is asking some questions.
Yeah, one question. So actually, I did a lot of time when you say that WSOS cleanup, right? Actually, I don't have any things like the description, like okay, what I need to clean and all those things. So usually, what I did, I used to go and delete that particular folder where that all the contents will get stored. So is this practice is good, or what you say?
Okay, so there are two things. One is you have to, okay, there is a blog we already created. It's there in the site. Okay, how to perform the WSS cleanup. Okay, the second one is, okay, you have to manage your environment by cleaning up. Okay, first one is you have to manage your software update group. Okay, the second one is don't whenever for example, if you go to the software update deployment package, right? Okay, you have to, in case if you're not able to deploy it, just remove the supersede and expire updates from the software update deployment package. One, it will save the disk space. The second one is on the software update group, remove, again you have to edit the software update deployment group, remove the expired and superseded updates.
Okay.
This is a
Okay.
simple way. Okay,
Okay.
another way is you have to do the WSS cleanup. By doing that, it will automatically remove all superseded expired updates from the software update deployment group as well. It remove from the database, SSM database as well.
Oh, okay. So the one challenges what I have in the WSUS, actually initially so many updated got downloaded. I didn't schedule, I didn't selected which product need to be downloaded and which product should not get downloaded. So what I did, I deleted that entire folder. Before deleting that, I selected that okay, only the Windows 7, Windows 10 update should get download. Remaining all SQL and all those things, those download I don't require. So once I made that changes, after that I deleted that the WSUS folder where that the all download items will get stored there. I'm not getting that folder name, so that folder I deleted. So is that which I did, is that the correct way? And
Okay, I don't think it's a right way, right? So first you have to, which are the products you selected, you have to select on your product category and classifications, right? Whether you want to Windows 10 and Windows 10, you want to critical update, security update, update roll up, that classifications you have to select it. Okay, by first you have to configure that settings on your environment, which are the product is required for your environment. Then do the sync up. Automatically the WSS perform the cleanup by itself. For example, previously if you have selected SQL, okay, and remove the product, automatically the product won't available in the software updates, right? It will delete it, it will automatically perform it. Then the next one is don't delete any folders previously you configured it. It will it sometimes it may have options to corrupt. I'm not sure how you configured it. Don't delete it. So I would always to get some support from anyone before deleting those folders.
okay.
Okay, and additionally by performing the WSS cleanup, it will increase your scanning speed and it will reduce your time dot errors.
Okay.
Okay, coming to the last point is we are able to deploy Office 365 packages, so you don't want to create any more custom packages, right? So you can deploy Office 365 application using SCCM and effectively manage the Office 365 updates using SCCM, right? You can change the channel semi-annual to monthly. You can change monthly to semi-annual. You can do that. Okay, so I can yes, coming to the delivery optimization, yes, I'm going very fast. Sorry, it's being running out of time, right? We can go with the delivery optimization, right? Then we can configure the window peer cache, or we can go on with the Windows branch cache. Okay, so the content to download from the next available client in the same subnet. How we want to configure it instead of going with a third-party tool like OneE Nomad. Instead of third-party tool, you can use by SCCM itself using the peer cache. You can able to do that. Okay, this is very much important for the delivery optimization for upcoming Windows 10 versions. Okay, any questions?
Can you explain more detail regarding delivery optimization, branch cache, and peer cache? Any configuration setting from SCCM server side and client side?
Okay, so coming to the config manager peer cache, right? So if the content is downloaded on a specific client, right? If you are making the content is downloaded on a specific client, if you're enabling the config and peer cache, right? The next client, it won't go to the distribution point. It will take from the nearest client from the content, right? It's kind of nesting, right? For example, A client has a content, the B client will get a content from the A client instead of going to the distribution point. So in that case, right, the delivery means that updates getting downloaded easily, very fast to the next client, it get configured based on the subnets. Okay, that's what that third-party tool called OneE Nomad. It's doing the peer cache options integrated with SCCM. Instead of that, SCCM itself has the own tool to do that.
Any specific setting configuration to be made during on client side and server side, like SCCM server side?
You have to enable on the client settings on the SCCM.
Sujit, I just shared a link which is a post by Guru, I think, in the chat window. I don't know whether you have access to chat. Probably you can look into that.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. One more. What about the delivery optimization? Is it just same thing?
It's a concept of all the how we are configuring inside our infrastructure.
No, in latest Windows 10 1909, there is an option for delivery optimization on the local PC from local internet. Options are there in the setting.
You mean say SCCM or in a Windows 10 client?
Windows 10 clients.
Sorry, I have not explored that one.
No, what is your question, Sujit? Sorry, I was
Okay,
not listening.
he's asking. Okay, go ahead, Sudhit. No worries.
In Windows 10, in the update setting, update and security, there is an option for Windows delivery optimization.
Okay.
Yeah, you can monitor that how much you downloaded from the local PC. Yeah, that is. This is the same thing as peer-to-peer cache, branch cache, all are same thing, and it is a new name in Windows 10 that is given as delivery optimization. Yeah, there is any
No,
difference?
all are different. All are different.
And which is the effective way with Windows DO?
We need to use, Sujit. We need to use all these together to get the optimized way of network transfer or whatever thing you call, right? So if I don't know, have you seen any blogs from I forgot his name. Many blogs are available in SCCM community, right? So as per I have never configured all these things together, right? So my personal opinion is, as per the experts in the industry who already did this kind of configuration, we need to use most of these, right, to get the optimized best way process.
See, it depends on your environment about network bandwidth and your security settings. All get involved. How you want to effectively take it.
Same thing
Also, it depends
goes
upon
to
the OS version you have at your with different OS version. If you have, then it's also challenging for the delivery optimization point of view.
Okay.
Hey, hi Kannan, this is Rohit.
Tell me, Rohit.
Yeah, hi. I just have one query that if one of the update is not available in SSCM or WSUS, can we import it from the Microsoft website in our environment?
Yes, sorry, I missed that point. Yes, you can see some of the times, right? Microsoft release an update, but it's take time to made available either in WSS or WSS, right? So in that case, right, you have installed the primary SUP, right? From that primary SUP, if you have an internet access, right, you can access Windows Update Catalog. You have an option. Only you get an option enabled on the primary SUP. If you go to the Windows Update Catalog site, search for the particular KB. Once you search for the particular KB, it asks you to add. Once you add, then it got added to your local WCS. Then once sync get added, it added to the SCCM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, because I've tried that, but when I've searched for that KB in WCS, I didn't found out. And when I've tried it on the Microsoft Catalog website portal, I got that KB, and I didn't found it on the WCS and SCCM. But when I found, when I've searched for these several articles, then it was stating that I can try to get that KB in my environment by using the import option. But I was not able to see that option in my WCS.
Yeah, recently someone already pasted the blog like import option like in our WhatsApp group. I guess it is there. Last week.
That's a post. That's a post from Kannan itself himself.
Okay. So see that you have to. That's what. See, you have to open a Windows Update Catalog on your upstream server or first SCP server. Okay. If you hosted on that for remote server, you have to open the particular site on upstream server. Then you can easily able to add it and it's get added. Yes, that the blog has a detailed information.
Okay, sure. I will search on that blog.
Yeah.
Hi, Kannan. Are you sorry, Sujit? Are you able to see the chat window?
Yeah, I already seen it.
Okay, fine.
No, actually, I wanted to. Somebody had an experience with somebody has implemented these features or not. That's what I want to know. Not
See,
about what is.
see, I had a very good experience on the 1E Nomad, so it's pretty much working well. Okay, this in the lab environment, yes, peer catch is working well. Yes, but there is a challenge on it. Yes, that you have to go through the internal architect how it will work based on your network configurations.
Okay.
Yeah, Kannan, this is Ram. Small query. So regarding this Windows update synchronization for particular activity, which is not in WSS and SCCM. So earlier in February month, Microsoft had some wrong update. So we had overcome that. So later we have synchronized again. So is that we need to go to Microsoft catalog and download it as you said, or we can also synchronize from all software? We can run the synchronization again.
It depends. See, for example, you don't want to synchronize all the updates which is released later, then you can directly import on the specific update. Or if you want to synchronize all the updates, yes, you can do that. It depends on your requirement.
So in February month we had some major changes,
Yeah,
right?
two
So
updates caused the
I
issue
have
for Windows 10. Yes.
thank you. Thank you.
Hi
No
Kannan.
worries. Yep.
Hi Kannan, this is Shrikant. I have one small query. I have the SOP implemented, and I have the secondary servers. I have the multiple management points, and infrastructure is working fine. Whenever I built a new machine imaging with the image, my first download, the complete metadata is getting downloaded from the my primary SUP server. The metadata is almost 30 GB kind of. So it's downloading that content from the primary server. So is it okay, or is, because my team is complaining about that 30 GB is getting downloaded from my primary server. The team is getting complaint. Is that okay, or is it expected
Okay,
behavior?
coming to that point, right? So for that you have to update your image properly on using the offline service mode, right? That's why the express updates coming to the picture. It's not 30 GB, it's about 7 GB of data get downloaded from your DB. For example, you have 1809 got imported, the OS got imported on last year November, right? And you are imaging this year April, right? So from November to April, the no machines, that particular computer not get imaged.
I'm sorry, Kannan. That's not my question. Actually, I understand your point. My image is getting updated on a regular basis. Okay, we are releasing the 1909 updated version that updated till March. That's not a problem. My problem is after I image first image machine hitting to my primary SUP server to getting download the metadata. It's not downloading any updates. It's downloading the metadata itself.
No, metadata will not be in GBs. Normally, it will be in few MBs.
I know, but I read some posts in somewhere that they are mentioning that metadata will be in GBs, 30 GBs or something like that.
Okay. What in metadata? What you are doing? What you are enable is only patching you are enable, or the driver update? What you are enabled currently?
Currently
In
patches,
environment.
Microsoft patches.
Only Microsoft patches, right?
Yes.
So it's getting downloaded to the client, or it's network consuming the bandwidth?
Network is consuming the bandwidth for the first installed machine, first OS installed machine. I mean to say, whenever I install the OS on any new machine, that time it is consuming the network.
Srikanth, are you talking about like thousands of clients or one or two clients?
One or two, no, thousands means whenever I built a new machine, I am building every day 10 to 15 machines per region. So first machine, example, one machine is hitting to my SUP server, not SUP, WSS server. WSS server is a different server. It is hitting to the WSS server and downloading the metadata.
1
It's
GB
not
of
downloading
metadata.
the patch. Yeah, GBs of data. I didn't exactly accurately say
Okay.
that.
That communication, see, that you have to check with the network team. Okay, its machines getting downloaded, all the data has been transferred to the site server. That's make difference. Okay, there is an option available on SCCM that event reporting. Okay, if you selected the first option, yes, definitely the scan get failed or client is unable to communicate the first time, the client is unable to communicate. Yes, it will transfer huge GB of data from client to the server. That time, yes, you may cause the network bandwidth issues.
So question to this, what is your environment? Is it only one primary or how many secondaries?
I have one primary, 4 secondaries, and 2 SUBs separated. One CMG is there.
Okay. So, it will not be a case when you have a secondary at your own premises, right? It's only is a case when my understanding is only case when you having a directly connection to the primary of that another sites, right? Because
I don't
locally
have
that level of data should not be a problem. What I mean locally connecting to secondaries, there should not be a problem, right? It's only if
it is not a problem. That this is like all the clients in that region, China region, that is especially China region. All the clients in that region are assigned to the secondary server. There I have the secondary server in that region. There I have the SUP role is enabled on that. So clients are reporting and downloading content from that local SUP server whenever after first communication happened with my SUP server. Next time onwards, it's getting downloaded from the SUP. So fallback also I created. I have the fallback options I created. Everything I created, but the first hit, whenever I image a machine, the first hit is coming to my Germany server. The server, the primary SUP role was enabled on the Germany server. So China to Germany, there is a less connectivity, so it is hitting to the Germany server, and they are complaining that there is a lot of network connectivity, network data is consuming. So
okay, see, network data consuming, probably you have to check with, I had a similar experience. Okay, check with them source to destination and how many hours per hour, how many GB has been transferred. Okay, see, there is an option on the event monitoring on the SUP settings. Okay, that options you have to select the first one. I'm not able to recall it. Let me check you. That one I'm not able to recall it. Okay, I'm not able to connect to the environment, right? So that options you have to check the first options. No event has been transferred. If you're selecting event has been transferred, then that the case whenever the first time it's getting connected or the scan got failed, it will send a huge number of data. Probably in a day about 15 GB or 16 GB has been transferred from client to the server.
Okay.
So Kannan, again, I'm a bit confused here, right? Srikanth as well, right?
The question is not clear.
Metadata 1 GB. I don't know how that is possible. Probably I am stupid. I don't know. But if you can provide more details, right, Srikanth, one to one or in WhatsApp group. If you are in WhatsApp group, that would be great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm there. I'll send you the details.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we are talking, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Continue. I want a different question, so better you complete your question.
No. I'm good. I'm done, sir.
Mainly,
we are almost
regarding
done. Probably we will
Okay,
take
only
we'll take like
one
last.
question then. Yeah.
Let
last
me
question.
finish my statement at least. Sorry. Okay. So this is Anup here. So we are almost out of time. We will take another 3 questions, right? And after that, we will continue next week, Saturday and Sunday, same time, same place. Right. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. As we are coming to the servicing, I wanted to know MDT servicing through MDT and creating an image and delivering to the SSM infra is more space saving, or it is service integration of MDT into SCCM and then servicing will be a better option? Because I found that my technical person says to me that MDT, if you do an MDT, is more space saving, or it's more preferred way. So just wanted to know. I'm not a good MDT guy, so you can help me out on that part.
No, space saving means in terms of what space
Size
saving?
of
So size.
types of the image. Yeah, fine.
Okay, so how it depends on the depends, right? So some customers will have, for example, they have their single image for every model, right? Or some customers depends on the drivers it may consume it, right? How the application get integrated, everything that's totally different, right? So most of the customers go with SCCM with MTT integrated.
Okay. But is there any reason if we have the normally customizations, more customizations you can't do if you have a separate MDT, you can do more customization in the base image. That is my understanding. Is it right?
You can do it by SCCM also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. If you have MDT environment, then you can do more customization. If let's say if you are using more clients, let's say if you are supporting more not clients, I can say, if you are supporting
models
more, yeah, so regions, then yeah, it's better to have a MDT to customize your image.
Yeah. In
on
addition
this
to
point,
this, if you want to use the zero touch feature, you have to integrate MDT with the SCCM to benefit with the zero touch.
Exactly.
and
maybe
also
a next
Microsoft
topic,
normally recommends not to modify the OS image, to use the vanilla image and do all the configuration in the task sequence outside the image. You have to keep in that mind also.
Okay. So,
last
okay, how
question.
to decrease? Maybe how to decrease the space? Yeah. How to decrease the space of the Vim image when you after you're done servicing? Because when you do servicing, I understand the image size goes on increasing.
I think you already asked one question, right? I will let others to ask. Sorry.
Okay. No.
Hi, Kannan. I have one question.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. See, I have created one group of software update group, which having the 10 updates, right? And that deploy on the couple of machines. Okay. Then I go to the to check the status of that updates. The SCCM server console in the software deployment status is showing 10 updates as installed. Okay. The same thing, if I'm trying to touch this machine, go to the manual to the control panel and seeing that what kind of the update has installed. So it's only showing the only two couple of updates, not showing 10 updates, but SCCM is showing 10 updates.
No, it means that installed. It means that okay, it's install or not applicable. That's makes sense, right? So a compliant state consider as installed or not. The particular patch is applicable. It's called a compliant.
Yeah, but if I'm going to the compliant and we'll check that one, how many update is installed. So it's showing that install number of the, I select one of the computer in the deployment status. Okay, and we'll go to the check that one, how many updates is installed successfully installed. I will check the list of that updates. Around 8 updates is installed out of 10. But the same thing if I'm cross check to the client machine, I am only seeing that one only couple of updates is showing there. Now remaining is not showing there. So what I am predicting that is some is not required by the system or what?
I think it's not required by the system. That's what I see that.
Even I raised the ticket with Microsoft, even is not clear my questions. Even
No,
that
okay.
we raised, we
Probably,
worked around months.
yeah, probably you can update your update in our WhatsApp group. Probably we will work on it. We will identify the issues. Probably we'll clarify it.
Sure.
With screenshot, it will be helpful for the screenshots. Yes.
Okay, I will share with you.
Yeah.
The last question.
Okay,
I
have
have a doubt on the third
compliance
party.
Only one.
Yeah, I have a
I
question
will
on the
wait.
compliance part.
Right.
Is there any way of troubleshooting, automated troubleshooting, like a PowerShell script or any tool available, readily available? Because being a one system SCCM admin, I have to do application patching and deployments and even patch deployments, and I have to manage everything. Is there any automated tool available to so that I can deploy it on the collection so that it can manage at least the minimum of so that I can increase the compliance rates there?
Yeah, you can use lot of tools like client right click tools, or you can use Trend Micro tool. It will help you to increase the compliance. You can initiate the policies, everything. Yeah. I think
But
Anup has the link.
that's not a free now. It's costing now.
You have to download the demo one. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Thank you all. Thank you very much, Kannan. It's
No
really
worries.
great and
Thanks for
lot of
everyone like who's given me answers on behalf of me. Thanks a lot, and thanks for who asking the questions. It's giving me a broader sessions where we stand on it.
yeah. Thank you all for
Thank you,
the
Kannan.
great
Really,
participants.
this is very nice discussion happened. Yeah, thank you a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Apart from that,
Thank you.
yeah, apart from that, Anup, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anup, can you please, if you can also plan for the imaging, SCCM OST or imaging discussion in the future, and that would be great.
Yeah, I think I have already shared the topic descriptions. I don't know whether you got the link or not. I will share it in WhatsApp also. So probably you can vote for that, right? That would help us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank
Please share. Yeah. Please share the link in the WhatsApp group. Then I will go for it.
Anup, how I can get in that WhatsApp group?
There are links available in blogs, so probably you can get in touch with me. Anyways, like any WhatsApp, Twitter, or Facebook. Anyways, like I can provide you the details, right? Or you can ping me over here separately after finishing this meeting.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you
Anup,
so much.
for this great session.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Have a good day.
you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a
All.
wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Avançamos. Bem, mas está na